Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-game show for the game between Collingwood and Brisbane. Again, we're finally here. It's time to talk all things black and white. Woo-wee. The 2 weeks just gone by felt like an eternity. We are now here. We know who awaits the winner of tonight's game in the grand final. A very impressive win by Geelong. Commiserations to Hawthorn. I felt like, as I mentioned all week, I just felt like to beat 3 good teams in a row would be extremely difficult with the travel as well. And then potentially going to the grand final. I thought it was always going to be difficult for Hawthorn. Geelong looked overwhelmed in that first quarter. But they just found a way to recalibrate, settle, work their way into the game. And, I mean, led by players like, first and foremost, Patrick Dangerfield. Like, fair enough. What, 31-3? That has to be the best performance I've seen from a player in a final series since Dustin Martin. That's how good he was. So, look, hopefully when we get through Brisbane, we'll have an incredibly difficult assignment in Geelong based on the way they've been. But this year, if you win this flag in how competitive the top 8 teams have been this season, it's going to be one of the special flags, and it would culminate in Collingwood winning their 17th flag, taking us outright leaders in the premiership count. So a lot to like, a lot to look forward to. It's a massive day. The sun was out. The sun was well and truly out. Went for a run, and the vibes are high. A few Collingwood runners passing by, a few high fives. So it was good. Oh, look, the good thing about the Twilight game is, for me, we just get to the game earlier. We get to the game earlier than a 7 o'clock game, and like it's 2 o'clock now. I mean, I wake up, I blink, and we're within touching distance of this game now. Like, that's how close we are. We're feeling confident, asks Jill. Always confident. There hasn't been many seasons and games where I have not gone into the game confident about the side. Not ignorant, not arrogant. Always confident, because that's just who we are as a club. We always give ourselves the best chance every year through recruitment, through strategy, through heart. It'd be hard to support a team where week in, week out, you don't feel confident about them going into the game. I promise, even if you look at, if we want to go back to 2024, you go back to every pre-game show, you go back to every lead up into the games, when people ask the question, or not even the question, you can see the optimism and the belief on this channel about this club. Even when things weren't going well, there was always belief. There was always belief going into that terrible stretch towards the end of last year. Hawthorn, Geelong, Essendon, Gold Coast. I believe we would win each and one of those games. Maybe not Hawthorn. Hawthorn was the one I didn't feel confident in. So you probably get supporting the Collingwood Football Club at the moment. When I say at the moment, the last 20 years for me. 20 years, yeah. I mean, there's a few obviously there's periods where, you know, the mid 2010s where we go missing for a bit, but it's all part of it. And even then, I can remember just still believing in the lads. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Jill asking the question: do you think leaving out Bobby was the right call? It's gonna have to be. Yeah. That's just where we're at the moment with Bobby. Benny, welcome, my brother. $10 straight up. Heading in, brother. We'll catch the pregame when I'm at the ground. A bit worse for wear, but still going to lift. All of us have to. Cat's waiting for us. Enjoy the match. You and Reacher up the pies. I appreciate you, Benny. I hope you're feeling okay, mate. Not good to hear that you're not feeling great. I hope everything's all right. But I'm sure once the game is up and about, I'm sure you will naturally lift. And I want to hear your loudest. I want to hear you instigating Collingwood chants at the ground, okay? Do your best. Go Pies. Let's go. Time to get up. Come on. Fuck, we need another lift show. This is what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Use and abuse. Pre-game show again. I felt like one pre-game show. When there's a game on the weekend, whether it be a Saturday or Sunday, moving forward, next season included, obviously, there'll be a pre-game show on a Friday night, and then you'll get a pre-game show on Saturday or the Sunday. So we find ways to make the most of this, don't we? Shawnee says, so pumped, bring the pressure, Pies, and we'll be okay. And that's the starting point. That's the starting point. That's the baseline expectation. That's what we come to know about the Pies. Stewie, welcome. Stevie, welcome. Murph says, I trust this club. This team gives it all. It's true. That's why, the faith never falters. Wilbur says, having a beer and about to get the train. Let's go, Pies. Tell you what, after my run, had a nice beer I think I was in Morty. I was in Rococo. Walked in, was completely underdressed with me and my mate. Just finished a run, if I haven't told you already. Went in, looked at us funny. We just wanted a beer. That's all we wanted. Sat down. May have accidentally ordered a gnocchi and a pizza. Mate, I'm telling you, that beer, I'm not even a beer guy. I really don't like beer. But something about today was telling me, you got to have a beer. And I promise you, it was a Peroni. It was gone in 5 seconds. My stomach does not cop beer. I've never experienced a beer sitting so well on my stomach in my life. And that concerns me for both good and bad reasons. Well, if something concerns you, it can't ever be good, right? Is Checkers still in? Checkers is in as it stands. He might even be a game day, like a hour before type of decision. I'm assuming they're going to put him through some sort of fitness test before all the lads are out there. So I suppose we'll find out. I haven't seen anything on Twitter regarding Checkers. Absolute worst case scenario, McStay comes in and he does a job on Harris Andrews like he did earlier in the year. We live with that. Like at the end of the day, if it's too much of a risk, if he's not fit to lift, Brody Myercheck, then you bring in McStay, who will have an astronomical chip on his shoulder that he'd want to rectify today. So that's a positive. When you bring in a McStay who's been under a fair amount of criticism for his second half of his year in particular, I think there's a lot of energy in that. I think there's a lot of pressure and anxiety, but I think it can go. I think there's every chance that it goes the right way than the wrong way for someone like McStay, and he's a finals player. GWS 23, Melbourne 23. He can do it. It's not the be all end all. Yo, Danny, do you think we need to beat Brisbane by more than Geelong did? Do we? No, absolutely not. This is a prelim. It's completely different. Every game is different. All we need is a win. Simple. You get to the big dance. You make it to grand final. You're every chance. It's one game. That's why people suggest the prelim is the hardest game, because everybody wants to get to that final day, because that final day, you're just every chance. You're every chance. It's 50-50. So you get through the prelim, which is, in my experience, the hardest thing you can possibly go through. If you look at that Geelong Hawthorn game yesterday, I could not believe the heat in the game. Incredible. Unbelievable how hot the footy was. The tackles were hard. The umpires let it go, which I applaud them. I thought the umpires did reasonably well. Maybe they missed a couple things here and there, but they always do. They always will. But for the most part, I think if we get a game like umpired like that today, where they just let the heat mount and let them do their let Bruzzy do his thing, I think we'll be all right. I like that. Nick says, if we pull this off tonight, we need the best organised back 6 or 7 and dead-eye conversion next week. That's a great point. Like, Geelong, they are clinical in front of goal. You got players like Ryan Myers, Shannon Neal, Jeremy Cameron. Just watching Dangerfield yesterday, I go, maybe, what is it? No, what's the saying about comparing yourself to something else? Or there's a saying about comparison. And I think I was asking myself, I was like, fuck, do Collingwood have a Patrick Dangerfield? And to be fair, most clubs in the last 10, 15, 20 years haven't had a Patrick Dangerfield in the whole league. So he will bring his strengths. And just because you don't have a Patrick Dangerfield doesn't mean you don't stand a chance. He's one player. But that game last night, like I said, the best finals game I've seen from a player since Dustin Martin. I couldn't believe it. And what he does better than anyone else, he's just, the way he throws himself at the ball, he has no regard for his health. I don't know how he does it. He pounces on the ball like a cat, and then literally metaphorically, right? And he just gets the ball out. I don't know how he does it. Guys, serious question. Have you ever seen anyone with that level of explosiveness and brute force? Have you ever seen someone be able to lunge into a contest time and time and again and come out of it with the ball and do something with it? I don't know. I can't. Tom Mitchell doesn't remind me of that. Tom Liberatore doesn't remind me of that. I generally can't think of anyone who puts their head up over the ball harder than him in the way that he does it as well. It's just different. Heading to transport for pre-game beers. Enjoy, Shano. Enjoy, my friend. Heaps of vibes in the chat. Heaps of vibes in the chat. No beers for me. Lost my finger on Wednesday. Bloody hell, Nick. Geez, hopefully you lost the finger for a good cause. I mean, the good cause being Collingwood winning the prelim, so it'll all be worth it in the end. Italian beer is junk sauce. Italian beer is junk. Sauce me a wog. What does that mean? I don't quite understand. I get the first part. Italian beer is junk. It was nice. It was good. Should start Braz in the first bounce just to set the tone. I feel like we did that. We did that a couple of times, but I remember we did it against Carlton. I think it was the last game of that season in 2022. He started in the centre bounce on Patrick Cripps, and mate, to say I was erect was an understatement. Champers, what's the news? Kynan, brother, we are here. We're here, mate. We're here, and the first bounce is very close. Jill, where do you think we will see Houston tonight? He's listed at halfback, but I suppose he'll be on the wing. Unless Fly and the coaching group have something up their sleeve, and that could be very, very well be the case. Braz to run with Ashcroft or Rayner for somebody. Yeah, see that happening. Rowan still will be the sub. I think so. I think so for Reed. Murph says Geelong are a bit banged up too. Got to get in and get a crack at them. Yeah, you'd be spewing to not have the opportunity to play against a Geelong side who don't have a Tom Stewart. But they seem to go all right without him yesterday in the moment. But it's different when you're going into a game for the entire game without your best defender. Oh, hydrate. Tonight is all about structure and precision. Got to be calm and sharp. Yes, sir. JFR says, honestly, after last night, I'm less nervous than I was. If we can't beat Brisbane, then we would have no shot against Geelong. If we are serious, we will win today. That's a good point. Like, Geelong, clearly they're the bee's knees. When it's all said and done, it's going to be, obviously, it's between them and another team, and hopefully it's us, and we give them our best shot. They are the bee's knees. Like, you just look at the game yesterday, they're going to be difficult. But like, you also saw, which gives you solace as a Collingwood fan, is you saw the experience in that Geelong side yesterday pay dividends. They were battered from pillar to post that first quarter, and the game could have easily gotten away from them. And they found a way to stay in the game. They kicked the goal at the end of the first quarter, and they turned it around. And every time Hawthorn had a run, they gave a run right back. So I'm hoping our experience will work for us in that way. But the only difference is Hawthorn are, I'd say, far less experienced in this environment than a Brisbane Lions. So they're going to come out and do their own thing as well. Ella Andreas, I'm on the train. Feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm that nervous. We'll be right, bro. Don't worry. We'll be right. Dangerfield had a godly game last night. Voidoid, on Mix channel, I tipped Cats by 50 1 points. Thought I was going to get that tip at some stage. What ended up being 4 goals? 4 goals. And look, as much as I said Geelong found a way to respond, when Geelong looked like they were going to run away with the game completely, Hawthorn responded as well. So, look, I can appreciate character and good teams playing a great brand of footy, and that's what we saw last night. So I think we can all appreciate that. Peter, nerves are kicking in. We'll be there live cheering us on. Enjoy, Peter. Have a couple for me. Sean, if we win, it'll be off turnover, I think, which comes from pressure. Surprise, surprise. Pressure pies. That is the bare minimum. And look, we have those pressure plays that we need available. Bo, Lockie, Jamie, and the rest. They lead from the front, though. Hawthorn lost their shape and gave Geelong the field. DeGoey is Dangerfield in my honest opinion. Different. If DeGoey can give us his best 31-3 tonight, I'll be more than happy with that. So I'm not opposed to that comparison if it happens. There you go, greatness. I appreciate you. Comparison is the thief of joy. There's the saying I was looking for. Thank you, my kind friend. Does anyone else have a Scott Pendlebury? Says Murphs. Does anyone else have a Scott Pendlebury? Good point. There you go. Geelong do not have a Scott Pendlebury. They do not. So there you go. Peter says Cox will kick 3 goals today. Mark my words. Do I cook up a same game multi? Do I chuck on a cheeky 20? Do I manifest? It's exclusively Collingwood only. Maybe I'll manifest Collingwood win. Mason Cox for 2. Nick Dacos for 1. Pendlebury to get over his average disposals. And what's one more? What's one more that I can still side bottom to kick 1? Maybe Mason Cox. Yeah, Mason Cox to kick 2. Still side. Yep, that's done. $20. Put it on the side. Say less. Stephanos says, I'll match your danger against Nick Dacos any day of the week. Good faith. What's Matthew saying? No pies willing to back the losers. Lions win. Welcome, Matthew. We have a troll. Welcome. I honor all bets, says Matthew. Guys, I am a bit behind in the chat, so I'm just trying to keep up and get to as many as I want. Pendle over Danger any day of the week. I mean, they're different players. Come on, let's not disregard the special talent that Dangerfield is. Saved with plastic surgery. Thank goodness, Nick. That's good to hear, mate. It'll be tight. Melissa, I don't foresee Collingwood winning, but look, I'd love to see Collingwood win by 6-7 goals. We did it early in the year, but that's a home and away game. But it probably will be a close game. The closest player we have to Dangerfield is Ned Long. Can't use those two players in the same name. That would be disrespecting Dangerfield. Am I glazing him? Glaze, a little bit of glaze. Dustin Martin every day of the week. Dangerfield had the cape on last night. All right, I'm keeping up. I'm trying to keep up. Just finished. Therese Zaza, I've just finished work and pulled up in a car park to be here. I'm so pumped. Appreciate you. Guys, for those who aren't going to the game, which I'm assuming there wouldn't be many of you, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing for the game? What have you been doing today leading into it? Paul, hi Anthony. Paul from the Gold Coast. If we win the flag this year, could you get an interview with a Collingwood player? Paul, welcome from sunny Gold Coast. I was pretty keen last season on trying to bring on as many players as possible. But truthfully, guys, I don't want to get my... how do I explain this? I feel like when you have personal relationships with play. Not that it would become a personal relationship. You do connect at a deeper level. I feel like it may be more difficult to criticize them and have opinions. I think fan channels in general, it's best if you separate that relationship. And I would never say never, but I'm pretty close to I would never collaborate with Collingwood because I want to keep that. I don't want to become a conflict of interest. I want to be impartial. I want to be able to say what I want to say. And truthfully, my political beliefs are quite like my outlook on life is different to the way Collingwood do their thing. So that's hopefully that provides you some context. But like Swoop does heaps of content with Collingwood players, so I mean you're going to get that there anyway. So if you want interviews with Collingwood players, Swoop will do that. So you can definitely check out his channel. Do we just drop the prelim? Fucking looks like it. We fucking need to lift, says Manny. Yesterday, Manny, all the way from Lesbos on his donkey, on the way to his cruise to get to the nearest pub. Ella. 2018 prelim style, Big Mason Cox. USA, USA. Would we do to predict if... Wait, what are you saying, Freed? Would we do to predict if we make it through? Would we do Geelong and us for best 23? I don't know what you're asking there, Fareed. You're asking, would we do a best 23 for Geelong and Collingwood? Is that what you're saying? Yep, Close. Yep, Brad Close, Stengel, Brian Myers, Jack Martin. They just find ways to pluck these players, and they have such a good system where they have that VFL system and it integrates seamlessly into the AFL system. They guide them through their apprenticeship there. They don't rush them. And like, you just look at Tom Stewart, you look at O'Sullivan, you look at Dempsey, you look at, who did I just say? You look at Manor. Like they just do it so well. And that's how they stay at the top. Everyone falls in love and sucks on the teat of the draft. But the way teams stay at the top perpetually is by other means. Mid-season draft. Free agency, of course. I mean, to get Bailey Smith at pick 17 is ridiculous. And I said that before he had the season that he had. I said to get him, when we were talking about potentially trying to get Bailey Smith, we were talking 2 first-round picks, but it got so deep into it. Bailey wanted out. Bulldogs probably didn't want any bar of Bailey at that point. Geelong gave the Bulldogs pick 17, and that's what it was. So that helps. But yeah, for the most part, they've done well to bring players in, picks who aren't top picks in their draft years. Jack Bowes came from Gold Coast. What did they get him for? I'm not sure if he was a free agent or if they had to give up picks, but even if it was picks, I'm sure they didn't have to give up much. Jamie Brown says, reckon Fly will do something lateral to undercut Brisbane's expectations of what Cox did last. I think so. I think they put a little bit of work into it. Look, in a prelim, you're going to find ways to manipulate every scenario, including any player that wears the black and white if you are the Brisbane Lions. So I'm sure they have an objective for each player that plays for Collingwood. Hawks look great in the first quarter. Off to the G in a sling. Nothing's going to stop me. I appreciate that, Nick. I respect it. Budke with the 3. We win. Simple. Simple. Appreciate you. What are you doing? Budke, by the way, message me. What are you doing tonight for the game? I've got the Gowie Legacy game and Pendle's 32 and a goal. Love that. Love that, Kanga Jr. That's what we want to see. Pies by 42. Paying homage to Pants Mullane. I like that. Oh, yeah, baby. It's none of your business. I'm just trying to keep up with this chat. You guys are cooking. You guys are going crazy in here. What would the attendance be? Does it beat yesterday? Would be hard to, wouldn't it? Would be hard to. Think Shooter's going to have a huge one. Shooter anytime goal scorer. The nerves are high. The crowd last night was 99.5, Jamie. There you go. Matthew, you got someone who's willing to match your wager. Aldin, he's the guy. Hugh, I don't think I've seen Mark since his Crows went out in straight sets. Interesting that, isn't it? Because he's not blocked from the channel either. So that just all but confirms that he is not a Collingwood fan. I can't believe, because I genuinely thought he was a Collingwood fan, Mr. Mark Neville, because he was in the chat every night. I just thought he was very pessimistic. I just thought, like, you just get that with some people. They're a bit weird. They're a bit NQR. And now that Adelaide are out, we have not seen him. So clearly not a Collingwood fan. It makes no sense. Losers just spending their evenings in another club, fan channel club. Did I say that right? You know what I'm saying? Another fan channel club that isn't their own team. Fucking weirdos. Peter, we had players out there and we have a full strength side. Take a pint and a cardi. Therese Zaza says, maybe in 10 years we can use long and danger in the same sentence. Guys, I love Ned Long. But let's be real. Come on. We're talking borderline being delirious if you believe in that statement. You can't. I don't want to get into it because it's prelim final day and we want Ned Long to be Paddy Dangerfield today, but he's not Paddy Dangerfield and never will be. He just doesn't have doesn't even have the base physical traits that Dangerfield has. He doesn't have the explosiveness. Doesn't have the aerial capacity. Come on, Teresa. You're better than that, Teresa. Come on. Tom Clancy, 93, says, invited my father-in-law to watch the game with me. Well, that's good. Shuey says, I'm at a Bucks today. Wish I could be at the game. Good. Bloody hell. If I had a Bucks and a prelim, what would I choose? If it's your best mates, one of your best mates, Bucks, then fair enough. But if it was just a friend, I'd probably lean towards the prelim. Just saying. Jamie says, gym for nerves, fancy food for the game at home. Melissa says, hey champs, went for a walk, rang some pies mates and talked about the game. We'll watch the game at home with a couple beers and yell and cheer at the TV. Yep, that's one way to get through your day. Love that. Tom Clancy says, would you collaborate with another fan channel like RCCS? Guys, the reason why this channel is largely a solo channel is because I like doing things on my terms. And when you bring people, I mean, not that I'd be bringing in another channel onto this channel to create a partnership. I don't know. I just like talking to you guys. I'm not so fussed about collaborating. In saying that, I mean, no one really reaches out to this channel, which is fine. I genuinely prefer it anyways. Like, it is what it is. That's just how I am. Therese Zaza says, I'm watching the game alone. I don't want to be around anyone. Need to lock in, just me and a beer. I'm worried for all the pieces of furniture that are in my brother's bedroom tonight. He might punch them or he might hump them, depending on the result. He'll definitely punch them in game. He'll punch them, but if we win, he'll hump them after. But and there's a lot of it's mainly brick wall in the bedroom. It's a brick wall bedroom because it wasn't initially a bedroom. So I don't know how I'm going to tame him, but that's my problem, not yours. Spaniard says, you probably mentioned this, but I would play McStay over Checkers. The loss is not as big because McStay is there. Plus, this might be, in my head, McStay plays better versus Brizzy. That's, Spaniard, exactly what you just said is exactly what I said about 10, 15 minutes ago. Multi-sorted, Degoe 25 and a goal, Pendle's 25 and a goal, Elliott for 2, under 188, paying 16. All the best. Hopefully it gets through. Because that is manifesting that. If that happens, that gets us pretty close to a win. If Checkers is like 70%. What a turnaround this season would be if we make a grand final. 4 weeks ago was almost season over, right? different season. Fly said it, and now I believe it more than ever. The home and away season is completely different to the final series, and especially with the week off, you can almost forget about your poor form if you have that when you have that week off. In saying that, we did show that we were bouncing back. We also had injuries to key players who were crucial to our system, and then you throw in Degoe, who's just a superstar. We just got it right at the right time, and players who were out of form found form against Adelaide, found some form against Melbourne, had the week off to reset, and that's where we are now. Nick says, I think Fly's waiting till game time to make sure it's not wet to throw McStay on the field. I like I like how you're thinking. Actually, I mean, if Checkers is not healthy and ready to go, wet or not, he shouldn't play at this point in time. Geelong, geographical advantage, only team to train on their home ground and the beach lifestyle. I mean, it's nice. It's nice for them. However, lost my train of thought. So I'm reading all these comments. Sorry. Are you talking about when you entice players to come there to the lifestyle? Because it's in Melbourne, it's in Victoria still, so you don't have to go to Gold Coast or Sydney for the nice weather. You can just go to Geelong. Is that right? Plus no salary cap. Gold Coast gave pick 7 and Jack Bowes to free up salary cap. Wow. So Geelong just preyed on Gold Coast's poor list management. Wow. Crazy. Mark Neville is here. Hi, Mark. You bored with no Adelaide to watch? Is he here? Ah, he is. It says message retracted, though. Mr. Mark is here. Mark is watching. Oh, hi, Mark. Anyone know that reference? Oh, hi, Mark. I forget what the movie's called. I forget what it's called. It was like 6-7 years ago they made it. PPP. Positive Pies Premiers. Teresa Zaza with the 2. Thank you. I can believe in it. 10 years is a long time. Well, good thing we can revisit this in 10 years' time. So keep the receipts and we can have a chat then. I like the optimism. Tom Clancy says, my Greek mate who goes for the Pies got married to an Italian who goes for Carlton. Is it over for him? It's conflicting. It's conflicting. For me, to marry a diehard Carlton fan is like my girlfriend who I want to marry telling me they don't want to have kids. Woody, excited for tonight, mate? Absolutely. The vibes are high, my friend. The game's getting closer and closer, so the vibes will continue to rise. Michael Hooker, a good mate wouldn't schedule a Bucks in September. Mate, Michael, this is what we need. This is what we need here. We need a bit of logic and rationale, and that's exactly what you've just brought. A good mate would not schedule a Bucks in September. No longer a good mate. Why would you schedule a Bucks in September? If he's your best mate, you'd assume he's a massive footy head. Can you not put it on either side of the final series? Surely. Bloke's mate, he needs to lift. My brother has to go do a wedding and can't watch the game because he's in a groom. Again. Look, all I'm saying is, when I get married, my wedding will not be in September. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Absolutely not. No, sir. Woody says, shut down Mr. Hugh McLuggage and you guys can do it. What about those little Ashcrofts? What about those Baileys and those Rayners? Goodness. Jamie says, solo is freedom. I'm a screenwriter and for real, logistics can be a killer. And that's the thing. To work with other people in this industry, it's not for me. It's not for me. Malaka, the ferry just broke down. Lucky we just docked. You opened your mouth yesterday with the tie. Oh, true. Wow. I did say that. I did say, hopefully there's no Titanic tomorrow, which is today for you. And your ferry almost did a Titanic. But it did the Titanic by the time you'd already docked. Wow, that's crazy. What are the odds of that? You know what? I feel like ChatGPT can give us an answer. I want to ask it. Let me see if it can do some probability. Can you tell me what the probability is of this situation happening? All right, let me write this out. If I say to my friend, I hope your boat ride tomorrow doesn't do a Titanic, and then he tells me his boat broke down, which in some ways is similar for the sake of this conversation. What are the odds of that actually? I don't know if they can do it, but I'm asking a question. What are the odds? Just give me a number, chat. Just make it up. Give me something. This is one of those coincidence, feels like fate moments. We can break it down in terms. Chance you make a Titanic-style joke. High. 1 in 1 since you chose it. Chance of any boat issue happening on a casual recreational trip. Roughly 1 to 5%. Chances it happens the very next day to your friend after your comment. 1 in 100. It's a few percent chance. Interesting. ChatGPT's got it wrong. I feel like it's like a 1 in a million, but anyways, not 1 in 100. I don't know. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Therese Zaza with another 5. Thank you. I'll be watching Howe's groins like that. Like a Hawkeye. What's that orange emoji? Is that a water pistol? You'll be watching him like a police officer? I don't know. Don't you even think about it. Yeah. Look, worst case scenario, he gets subbed out. We still have the depth in our backline. We've done very well without him. So, not that I'm okay with that happening, but if it happens, it happens. Duke Labs just joining now. Is Checkers still a potential late out for mixed day? I think as long based on what we've heard, I think until the teams are finalised, I think there is a chance. I don't know what percentage that chance is. Spaniard says, the one thing that shits me is the habit of playing subs we don't want to play. So many times we've had Allen or Steele and we just don't play them at the end of the games because they are no better than anyone. It's a good point. Fly definitely, I feel like his view on it is it's almost a waste of a spot on the bench because those he brings them in so late into the game more often than not. It's more of, he treats it as more of a just in case. There's other clubs that don't use their subs early in the game as well. I'm just trying to think what teams do that. What teams do that where they bring their players in very late and they just have them there as a just in case? I said it on mixed stream, says Matthew. We have 1 A grader in home and away. Nick, in finals we have 12 plus A graders. And they're familiar with the final series, and that's their bread and butter. The Room, that's the one. These guys know. We've done it a few times. Makes me think we don't want to play an experienced person who we trust to sub. It's an interesting one. Spaniard. Wooden, are we doing electric if you win, mate? So tonight will be prelim, win, post-game show, vibes, and then I'm going to watch the EPL. I'm going to watch Liverpool versus Everton, 9:30 to 12, and I'll try fit in some FIFA at some point, FC 26. I'm hoping to do that. Depends. Depends how tired I am. I mean, I may have did I run 21 Ks today? Was the most I've ever ran 2 weeks ago, before 2 weeks ago, was it 10K? Maybe. Did I run 15K the last week? Yes. Did I go again this week and run 21? Yes. Am I proud? Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, all right to celebrate your own achievements. I think, yeah, from where I was, it's a big thing for me, without going on a tangent and talking about something totally irrelevant to today. To go from your body failing you for like 3-4 years, and the reason why I don't play competitive sport anymore is because my body surgery, and I remember I would go for a run, and 50 meters into my run, my back would give way, my foot was fucked, and to be able to today run 21 kilometers, and I did that for Collingwood, by the way. I was like, I'm just going to push myself beyond what I think is possible, and I did that today to manifest a Collingwood win. So maybe I can tie it in that way. Matt Catania, I really hope I'm wrong, but we could lose at selection. Bobby and McStay instead of Steele and my check. You can't tell me otherwise. We will need Hill if we make grand final. Should be sub. We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out tonight. I think Bobby clearly, just not really close. He's not close by the looks of it. Not even an emergency. Probably won't play the grand final if we get there. I think that's the ship has sailed. So many comments, God. Number 1, tag McLuggage. 2, Cox on Harris. 3, pressure Zorko so he can't effectively kick into the middle. Game's over. I love that, David. That's pretty simple. You did the math. 0.023% of that happening, Woody. Thank you, my friend. ChatGPT couldn't even do it. That's wooden spoon data working to an absolute T there. AI's garbage. It is for them. It's good and bad. It's good and bad. I defs actually 100% did math. I reckon the cold, wintry weather will help us tonight, as well as the 90,000 Screaming Pies fans. So pumped. Lift, says Jeremy Clarkson Fragrance. What's that YouTube channel name about? Do you have a fragrance that is called Jeremy Clarkson, or is fragrance like your surname? Is that an Italian surname or something? I don't know. Is it Fragranze? Is that what it is? Getting nervous now, Nicole? You'll be right. We're here. Melissa, thank you for the $1.49. It's your first super on the live stream. Appreciate you. One of the OGs at Pies Footy. Love that. How long for 21Ks? I ran a 5:55 split. Humble brag, alert, but deserved. Yep, that's it. Baz, how are you, mate? Would love to see a stat on how many games Brisbane have won in sub 15 degree weather. Interesting. Woody, can you figure that out for us? That'd be very hard. Oh, how many hours? 2 hours. It took me 2 hours. Just under, or right on. If we didn't win now, it's because you didn't run 25 kilometers. Well, I said I'll run 21 kilometers and we'll win by 21 points. How about that? Yasu Soul Killer, good. How are you? Thank you, Melissa. It's 18 kilometers from your house to Victoria Park. For fuck's sake, pay homage to the Magpie guy. Stewie, if you come for a run with me from my joint to Victoria Park, we'll make a video out of it and we'll watch a game there. Whether it's VFL, AFL, whatever, AFLW, whatever you want. We'll make the trip. Simon's House of Entertainment. Welcome. Hello, Collingwood fans. Fellow Collingwood fan here. Let's go and win today against Brisbane. Love the energy. Welcome, Simon. Appreciate you. Let's go. Lift. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. There's nothing left to say. We're here. 2 hours and 20 minutes, if my maths serves me right. 2 hours and 13 minutes, whatever it is. Couldn't give a fuck. 5 o'clock, bounce, win, post-game show, vibes. We're on grand final week. Going to be huge. Cannot fucking wait. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck. And as always, go Pies.